Coming up, 16-year-old Lauren Sizemore has been missing since Saturday morning. Yesterday, law enforcement issued an Amber Alert. We have the latest. A major turn of events in West Virginia, where a man accused of trying to kidnap a 5-year-old girl Monday night is now out of jail. And the Appalachian Wildlife Foundation announced new plans to expand their wildlife preserve in Bell County. We will tell you what all they have planned.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. It is 6 o'clock on Wednesday, April the 3rd. I'm Will Puckett. Thank you for tuning in to Mountain News This Morning. Well, it's supposed to be a sunny one, and that's a good thing, but soak it all in today, because towards the end of this week, that's all going to change. Spring and Brandon as we focus on today. And Brandon, before we get to you, I want to thank Connor, Macy, and Taylor and everybody else who filled in for me while I was gone. I'm happy to be back, and the sun might be happy to be back too, seeing me today.
Exactly. Your bright disposition brought the sunshine back. There you go. Let's get into it this morning. Let's start in Pikeville as we head out the door this morning. Pikeville Medical Center camera, all quiet over there in far eastern Kentucky. We come back to UVA-wise, just down the road a little bit, and not too much going on there as well this morning. Temperatures in the valleys, 20s and 30s on the ridge tops, in the 40s this morning, so you'll need anywhere between a normal day and a little extra on the coffee meter depending on where you are, and you might need a little chance to scrape some frost off your windshield this morning. A quick scrape. It's patchy. I do believe we'll see again some patchy fog as well, so just kind of keep that in mind. The rest of the forecast is on the way here in just a few minutes. Will?
All righty, Brandon, thank you. Well, 16-year-old Lauren Sizemore has been missing since Saturday morning. Her disappearance has shaken up the small town of Dawson Springs. Law enforcement has been working day and night on the case. They say their only wish is to get her home safely. The Amber Alert was issued Tuesday morning, nearly 3 days after she disappeared from her Dawson Springs home.
I've known this girl since she was running around in diapers, okay? I've known her and this family for a long time. And to me, that's the toughest part, personal. From the law enforcement standpoint, the toughest part is that we don't actually know where to look right now.
Now, she is believed to be with her step-grandfather, Glenn Harper. Dawson Springs police believe he could be taking her to Texas, since there was talk of him going to see his family in the Houston area. Police are asking everyone to be on the lookout for his Hyundai Sonata. It has a temporary tag on it with the numbers 955-9954. Well, a major turn of events in West Virginia, where a man accused of trying to kidnap a 5-year-old girl Monday night is now out of jail. Prosecutors say the mom who accused him of trying to grab her daughter made the story up. At this point, the charges have not been dropped, but prosecutors are looking at the case. The man accused is from Egypt. His family picked him up last night, and the man cried while he sat in the car and as they drove away. The Egyptian consulate has been in touch with authorities in West Virginia about the incident. Well, yesterday we learned some sort of deal has been reached in the case of Isaiah Stidham. Court officials tell us his charge was amended to manslaughter. Sentencing is scheduled for May 6th. We tried to call the prosecutor to learn more about the deal, but have not heard back. Stidham was originally indicted for murder in 2015 for the death of his girlfriend, Sherry Collins. Well, in less than 1 week, the trial of a man accused of driving high and killing 5 people is set to begin. Following the crash, court records detailed toxicology reports that found Jason Gibson allegedly drove high on a cocktail of drugs and crashed on the Hal Rogers Parkway, killing members of 2 families in December of 2015, including an unborn child. Monday, a judge ruled against a motion to have those court records thrown out. Well, yesterday, new accusations surfaced about a man in the Harlan County Detention Center. We first told you about Jeromy Smith Monday night. He is charged with breaking into a home and choking a woman in early March. Now, we have learned Smith is also accused of holding a woman against her will for days in Leslie County and beating her. Here he is. From court records, we learned the woman, who we will not name, claims Smith broke into her home on March 24th and held her at gunpoint through the 26th. She claims he beat her until she suffered a small heart attack and scattered her nitroglycerin pills on the floor. In that case, Smith faces numerous charges, including first-degree assault. Well, an inmate who escaped work release nearly 1 month ago is back behind bars. Knox County deputies say they found Anthony Smith yesterday. Investigators say he was riding in a car that was stopped in the Gray community. He went on the run March 6th while on work detail. They told us Smith gave them fake identification before they realized his real name. Well, it is an unfortunate problem. As the weather warms up and you head to the park, drug users are leaving needles behind. Officials say it's not common, but it does happen. This should not deter you, however, from your local parks. They say if you find needles, call 911 or safely pick up the needle and place it in a plastic bottle, and make sure you secure the lid.
With the top on it, if you can safely pick that up, drop that needle in that bottle, cap it off, take it to your local ambulance service, fire department, or hospital, police department, and they can dispose of it, or just throw it in the trash. If it's in that bottle, it's not going to be able to poke or stick anyone.
There are multiple locations across Perry County to drop off used needles. Perry County even has a needle exchange program. Well, it's a new way that kids are getting high. Some people cleaning near Pikeville High School found THC oil wrappers. Next, Principal Jason Boer brought some confiscated jewels and dab pens into the local police station. Their canine unit indicated some of the pens actually had the THC oil inside. This sparked Boer to post a video on Facebook showing parents what to look for. He says if teens are filling their vape or dab pens with THC oils, he is afraid it will lead to harder drugs.
If they get liquid meth in these vape pens and kids do it for the first time, they're in trouble for the rest of their life.
Now, these packages usually have colorful cartoons on the front and look completely harmless. Principal Boer says parents should keep an eye on their kids' rooms, cars, and even book bags. Well, officials with addiction recovery care are broadening their services. Their crisis to career approach is nationally known for its success rate. Now, many other organizations are looking to do the same. Working with BitSource in Pikeville, they hope to start a website to help. Kayla Parsons says introducing the website will allow them to reach more people.
With us being able to put their approach online, it will spread the word for clients that are looking for those services, but also for other organizations that are wanting to help in the same way that we are.
The Crisis to Career program helps former addicts find and obtain a job. Well, President Trump delivered one of his longest speeches to date at a fundraiser dinner last night, touching on everything from the 2020 presidential campaign, health care, to the southern border. The president says he is ready to push off the fight on health care until after the election, setting it up to be a fixture on the campaign trail. Democrats say he is holding Americans hostage by not acting sooner. CBS's Laura Podesta has details.
Keep America good. CAG.
President Trump mulled changing his signature campaign slogan during a fundraiser last night, but he also set the stage for what may be the signature policy issue for the 2020 race.
We'll be the party of health care. Republicans should not run away from health care. You can't do it.
Despite that declaration, the president shelved plans for a health care overhaul after conferring with Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell.
So I made it clear to him we were not going to be doing that in the Senate.
Mr. Trump said Republicans need to first sweep the 2020 elections.
We're not going to vote on it until after the election. We'll all promise it's going to be our first vote.
Though he made similar promises during the 2016 election.
Obamacare, we're going to repeal it, we're going to replace it, we're going to get something done.
But the GOP failed to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act when they controlled both chambers of Congress. Democrats say the president still has no plan forward.
President Trump confirmed that he will hold Americans hostage through the 2020 election when it comes to health care.
They believe they can win the health care debate.
The American people deserve to know exactly where their representatives stand on the Trump administration's vicious campaign to take away their health care.
Last week, the Trump Justice Department filed a court document in support of striking down the Affordable Care Act. Laura Podesta, CBS News.
Well, last year, a federal judge in Texas ruled that all of Obamacare is unconstitutional, though that decision is on hold as it moves through the courts. It may eventually end up in the Supreme Court, and if that ruling is upheld, millions of people would be at risk of losing their health care. Well, engineers with Tennessee's Department of Transportation announced a probable cause for Monday's collapse of an overpass guardrail on I-75 in Chattanooga. They aren't blaming the physical health of the bridge built in 1959. Instead, they are looking for a truck with a tall load that they believe hit it. It could have happened an hour before the collapse or days, but TDOT is looking for the driver and the company to bill them for the repairs. They say Tennessee saw 50 truck strikes on interstates like this last year. Well, the Appalachian Wildlife Foundation announced new plans to expand their wildlife reserve in Bell County. CEO David Ledford says additions to the reserve will include nature trails, a new 8,000 square foot visitor center, museums, and an open air and petting zoo. Ledford says the reserve is expected to attract 850,000 visitors a year.
The mission of this place is education, wildlife conservation, those types of things.
The Appalachian Wildlife Center is scheduled to open in the summer of 2021.
Nice to see that project getting off the ground. Today will be a great day to work outside because it's going to be a fairly nice day. Let's take a look at the cameras this morning. Outside McKee there in Jackson County. We're looking pretty good as we head out the door. Still chilly though in those valley locations. 28 in Monticello to 43 in Prestonsburg. A little warmer on those ridge tops this morning. When you factor in the wind chill, feels a little cooler in some spots. Your heating forecast though, it might need some air conditioning by the end of the week though. We'll see temperatures in the low to mid 70s and a little bit of rain on Friday. So we're going to continue to track that, and we'll have that and the rest of the 7-day forecast here in just a few minutes. Will?
All righty, Brandon, thank you. And thank you for joining us right here on Mountain News this morning. More news is on the way. Coming up, we give you a unique type of history lesson. No textbook required. We will show you more. And yesterday, volunteers across the country were recognized for their service, including some right here in Eastern Kentucky.